first period of the day, and starts screaming at him, picks him up, and slams him onto the desk. I swear to God.
What?
All right, welcome back to the LiQWYD podcast. It's a podcast where it's just a group of guys talking about what interests us in life. All college students here talking about sports, which you can go watch This Week in Sports if you want to hear about that stuff. Because we talk way too much about it.
Way too long and way too much.
Way too long, way too much. And then just anything that really interests us. And we haven't been posting recently. We're sorry. We have had a lot going on. End of the semester. These two took the MCAT. And for those of you that have been following along, we have a return of
Hey guys,
Mr. Jacob.
how you guys doing? Good to be back.
Yes, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, I've been gone for a minute, but I'm now
Gone for a minute, but you're back now.
Yeah, officially back.
Officially,
I'm back.
There we go.
Jacob will return on the next episode.
There we go, and he's back. There we go. So yeah,
as Peter alluded to, we've been really busy with winter break, the semester starting, and then Raj and I took the MCAT. So you might have seen it got really busy with finals and we didn't post, and we posted a little bit during winter break, but then we weren't here. So then we kind of streamed out our episode, strung out our episodes. So if you have been following along and wondering where we are, we're sorry about that. But please drop a like, comment, subscribe, help us out a little bit as we kind of return to regular upload schedule. That should be pretty regular here on out, 2 episodes a week, like we've been doing for a while. So yes. We are very excited to be back. We have a lot to talk about. And we're going to start with winter break. What would everyone grade their winter break on on an A, B, C, D scale?
C-.
Oh, well, that actually makes sense. You were studying the
Yeah.
Well, what are we A? Give it B.
B?
Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, probably just a B.
Just a B? Why a B?
I mean, I didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, it was nice just to relax and actually sleep for once.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I didn't really do anything too interesting, too crazy. But yeah, it really was just kind of just mid, honestly.
B for me because it was cool seeing friends, cool seeing family. My grandma was in town. But I would say overall was
Do you get a little bit of an increase for the 21st birthday?
A little bit of an increase,
in your grade,
a little bit better.
Maybe B plus.
Considering my birthday, sure, I guess.
Sure, okay.
Whoa, big guy!
I guess that actually plays into
the real question is, how many times did you go to Canes?
Oh,
hold on. So we're setting the line.
We gotta set a line.
Over under 2.5.
Over.
You go to Canes more than that?
Over.
Bro, I was back from the 18th to
It was 3
the
weeks.
6th.
Over.
Bro,
Wow.
You think you only went once per week?
Yeah, I went definitely more than 2.
Maybe
Bro, that's free money.
I probably went 3 times.
I'm
at least the first week I was back.
Bro, what?
Dog, that was free money.
Man, I didn't know how much you ate fast food like that.
It's just
Bro,
Canes
you should've
because
done
I don't get
over,
it for an entire semester. So when I'm back,
You're so
The
deprived.
line should have been at 7.5.
yeah, I would probably be back.
And I'm still
I
delivering
hope
the over.
it's-
Still would hit the over on that. I think I would
That's
win.
tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if I went over 7.5 times. That's really.
You
Eight
said
times
you went 3
really.
times in a week.
Yeah, but that was 3 times a week, and then I was good for a little bit.
Yeah. So then if you
You had
go
your fix.
3 times in a week,
Yeah.
and then you go what? If you go twice in the next, oh no, so you got to go
Maybe.
2. You got to go 2.5 times in the next 2 weeks each week.
Maybe because you got to also take into consideration it was Christmas, my birthday. My grandma was in town. We had home cooked meals, of course.
So you mean to tell me you didn't go to Canes for Christmas, your grandma's for your
didn't
grandma
get
and your
Cane's
birthday?
Takeout for Christmas?
couldn't do it.
Wow.
Not
Yeah,
a real,
they
not
were
a big
closed.
fan.
I was very unhappy.
They were closed.
I sent an email to the
Remember we went there for Labor Day? It was closed.
yeah, that really.
This is a throwback
that
to.
really.
This is actually a funny throwback to an old episode that we had
Yes,
where
that was
the boys went up to
Ohio.
Ohio for.
That was the worst thing we've ever
It was actually it's titled "We
No.
Hate Ohio" or something.
No,
Ohio
it
is
wasn't
purgatory.
that bad. I just hate it.
Bucanapoco is the worst thing we have ever done as a group. But the only reason why I was really, really excited to go to that Ohio trip was because I would get to go to Canes. It just so happened that Canes was closed on that day. It was still a fun trip. I was still very disappointed.
Yeah, go check out that episode. I'll try to link it in the cards. It's a funny story about how Jacob tagged along for a trip that he really didn't care to go to
just
for Canes, and it was closed. It's a banger episode, so you guys should go check it out.
But honestly, I think I probably went under 8.
Rats, I lost 50 cents again.
Like,
Well, that was the alternate spread. We still got money from the
Yeah.
actual spread at 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you guys put.
I put the house on
everything.
that. No, I put the house on 2.5. Then I was like, yeah, I'll just throw some money at 8.5.
I just think I overestimated how much Jacob wanted fast food over the break.
I mean, there are definitely other places to go to in New Orleans,
But-
Yeah.
but
It's Canes.
it's Canes.
What do you do on your 21st?
I can't really say because
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You're legal.
You're 21 now.
What did you do?
it's part of my.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Part of your 2 truths and a lie. We're gonna get into
yeah,
some
yeah.
icebreakers later, so stay tuned. But I guess we'll hold off on that for a little bit. Raj, C-. I think I know why, but come on, like.
The medical college admissions test.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I hung out with my girlfriend and her family for Christmas, and we all know how that went last year.
Yeah, for context, he didn't realize that Christmas was a thing.
No.
And got invited to Christmas dinner and didn't realize that he'd be eating
Yeah.
it with her family.
You can listen to the debacle on a previous episode about our Christmas traditions. I can also put that one in the cards.
Yeah.
Long story short, Raj forgot it was Christmas despite opening gifts in the morning.
Despite, and also the fact that he didn't realize that Christmas dinner was a thing, even
That's
though on
what I
any
didn't know.
holiday you have a dinner.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what religion, you have
Yeah.
a dinner on a holiday.
Yeah.
More likely than not, unless you're like fasting that day. But
Yeah.
like, whatever, you know what I mean. But and then he almost got converted to Christianity. But,
Yeah.
we won't worry about that.
But it was good this year.
It was good. There we
It's
go.
good this year.
So what would you grade last year if this year?
Well, it was a C- because of the MCAT.
MCAT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without the MCAT, I would have said it was a solid B.
Yeah, I'll give it a solid C as well. Like, it's not failing. It was nice to have some time off. Like, you could just focus on
It
like
worked.
the MCAT versus like dividing our attention elsewhere. But like every day, it was just like the MCAT got one day closer.
The MCAT.
The MCAT, sorry,
MCOD?
Call,
MFish?
Call of Duty.
you're the worst. You become so much more toxic since the MCAT was over.
The
He
MDog.
did say that Toxic Raj is back.
Yeah, he did. Menace Raj.
Exactly.
But no, like every day got closer, and I was like, and then it was like holiday. I was like, I gotta study, and then it was just like the whole time. So
But
solid C,
you're done.
but it's done.
You're
Yes.
No more.
Like, I was the complete opposite of me. Every day closer, I go, man, I don't care anymore.
It's just the inverse.
Yeah. So I guess this will be a perfect time for Raj and I's MCAT review. I wanted to talk about more.
Review. Oh my.
So I wanted to talk more about the process of the MCAT than the actual exam, because listen, most of the viewers aren't going to know anything about like how the MCAT's structured, and we don't have the time to get into that.
It's
but
just a 7-hour really.
All
Yeah.
right, a quick breakdown of the process. Basically, you start studying whenever. I started 6 months before the exam because I had to compensate for the fact school was going to happen. If we didn't have school and you could focus all your time on the MCAT, I say 3 to 4 months is good enough. That's it.
Raj, you said I had to compensate for school starting. I started 6 months ahead. I started 4 months ahead, and I was still taking school. Anyway, but I want to talk about the process because it was a very strange experience going into like an official testing center, like getting palm scanned, like not being able.
Insane. That's
It, like,
crazy.
Yeah. So the way the MCAT works for people who don't know, and unlikely a lot of people have studied for the MCAT or taken the MCAT who's watching this, like you have to go to a whole entire testing center for the event. So it's not on your computer. It's not like you don't, for the SAT, you just kind of go into a classroom at a local high school and like take the exam while a teacher kind of watches you. It's not like that. Like we had about 15, 20 people at our testing center for an allotted time. You all get a number. You have to sign all these forms. You get your palm scanned.
The DMV.
Yeah, you get your palm scanned. Literally, you take a number to start off. Like it's like, oh, Raj is number 8, Justin number 9. You go up, check in, whatever. They all start.
How did you remember my number?
I remember that I was number 9 and you were before me.
Was I? I thought the
Yeah.
other dude with us was.
No, my friend was 10.
Oh, never mind.
So then you go into this room, right? You get palm scanned. You have to show your ID every time you go in and out of the room. You sit in this cubicle, right?
Yup.
Nothing else. A straight cubicle, like just a computer screen, computer monitor, cubicle, and you don't even get to write on paper. You have to write on fine point marker on this like kind of dry erase board packet thing where like the reason you can't write on paper is because they're afraid you're gonna like take the paper out, but you can't take out like a big thick booklet.
Yeah.
So you like scan into the room, sit down, take it, right? And then when you need to leave to take a break, because you get 10-minute, 30-minute, and 10-minute breaks respectively, then you have to like raise your hand. The testing, the person who's overseeing you through a glass window, like has to like scan your palm, look at your ID, and then you can take your break while you just kind of like sit in a small room and walk around, maybe like use the bathroom or whatnot. You go back into your cubicle, sit down, do it again, just repeat the same process. But it's like, it didn't feel like insanely like surveillance, but still like to take an exam of that magnitude, like it just felt different than any exam I've taken so far.
Felt I was in prison just because there's a dude just in that little glass like area just
Yeah.
watching.
I'm surprised it wasn't like a one-way mirror.
Mhm.
And we had a camera over every single cubicle area.
And actually, what's really interesting is that we had a lot of MCAT takers there, but we also had a nuclear medicine test taker there.
Yeah.
So someone studying they'd already taken the MCAT, they were going to be a doctor, and they were taking their board exam to be certified as a nuclear medicine doctor. And then someone was taking a Secret Service exam.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. I don't know
That's
who.
nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You
that
didn't
dude
notice that?
could have just
No.
killed
Oh.
you at any moment.
Yeah. So and someone taking it.
What?
Yeah. You didn't hear this?
No.
Oh, this is the whole like.
Was I in there? No.
Me and my friend, as soon as like we left the exam, we were like, dude, this kid was taking a nuclear medicine, not a nuclear medicine. This
I
kid
saw
was
that
taking a
one.
Secret Service exam.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it like how old was this person?
I don't know exactly who it was, but we heard them talking about it. So I could be completely wrong, but I'm
oh.
90% sure someone was there taking it.
Oh, was
Secret
it
Service.
someone who came in later?
I think so.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, then.
So that was like crazy, but like so there's a couple people that are taking the MCAT, one person taking the nuclear medicine, one person taking the Secret Service exam, and you're just all in this tiny room, and it just felt very weird because like I don't know, I guess the days of like taking like exams like casually, like this felt like a big time like exam, which was like very different than like SAT feels like your whole world in high school, and then suddenly you take the MCAT and you're like, oh wait, like I'm scanning my palms, like they have somewhere in a database they have like 10 palm scans of me coming in and out of my MCAT room.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was cool though. Like it's a good experience. Like it was a unique experience.
It was a
I feel
good
like
experience.
It was a
Let's
unique.
not say
Yeah,
good.
it's a good story. Unique.
It's a good
experience.
story. That's fair.
Yeah, unique story. And then I got Taco Bell afterwards. Great. I know Raj is a big Taco Bell. You got Taco Bell for lunch, right?
I did.
Yeah. Raj came in with Taco Bell for lunch during his break.
That is
It
bold.
was
Very
bold.
That's a bold move.
My body's trained in use.
Yeah, that's fair.
You should have seen Raj before the MCAT started, just charged up, hand shaking.
How much caffeine were you on?
I started the day with 300 milligrams of caffeine at about 7 a.m. and then for our half-hour break around 11, I had another 150.
Just saw him during a break, just kind of like shaking.
What time did it start?
8 a.m.
Exam started at 8 a.m. Raj and I were there at like 7:20 or so.
Where was it?
It took 5 miles away or so.
It's like a testing.
It's very convenient to be.
on the highway.
What's really nice is it's really convenient to be in like an urban space for this exam because if you're in a rural space, you might have to drive 40-50 minutes. And in the morning when you're tired and like
you're screwed.
and distracted, it's just like a lot of distraction. Whereas like I left at like 6:50. I like left 6:50, 7 o'clock.
It's like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, it's not far at all. So which was nice because it really alleviates some of the stress and you can like leave a little bit earlier. But 8 a.m. start is pretty early. I think Raj, you started really nearly close to 8, and I started a little bit after 8. But yeah, we had to sit there and wait for our numbers and whatnot. And while you're sitting there waiting for your numbers, you're just like, oh wow, like, and then they call your number, you're like, all right, here we go, like lock in. Like I expected to get there. Like I said to Raj, my friend who came, I was like, good luck before we walked into the room. 'Cause I didn't know what was going to happen as soon as we walked into the office to like start to take it. And then it was like, wait for your number. And everyone, you could just see all the MCAT test takers like just like sitting there like in a trance, like, all right, when are we going to take the exam? And then they just pull you in and you're like, oh man, here we go. And, like I took the tutorial on how to use the interface because I was like, I need to like get in the zone. Because I've taken like so many practices. I know how the highlighter tool works. I know how the strike through tool
I
works.
just need that little like 4-minute buffer just to like.
I was literally like, I'm taking this tutorial just to kill time so I can like lock in.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you start the first question, you're like, oh wait, I've done this so much before, but this is different. And then there's a little screen at the end of after 7 hours, like, do you want to get your exam scored?
And you click no, void my exam.
Some people do it. Some people do it so it doesn't get counted. But
I mean,
like,
yeah, but still, like at least just. I mean,
How much would you have to pay for it?
Another $300.
it's $330. So the void year exam just wouldn't get scored, so that like if you thought you did really bad and medical schools couldn't see how bad you did, if it was going to hinder it. But like I couldn't imagine sitting after a 7-hour exam and voiding a score, because even if I knew my score was going to be terrible, I was like, well, at least there's a chance. Like maybe
it's only going up for
by
you.
the grace of God it goes up or something like that. But just to have no score after, like, I couldn't imagine leaving there just being like, I accomplished nothing.
Yeah.
Like at least something's going to come in the mail in a month.
Yeah.
With the score, but not if you voided that exam. And then like they ask you a little survey at the end. The last thing you want to do is fill out a survey. You're just like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
And I remember driving on the way home, and I was just like,
everything's just blurry.
I was just like, I need to go to bed.
Walking and screaming.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I remember that. What's that?
When the one Clone Wars.
The visions, the nightmares, they're finally over.
They're finally over. So that was the MCAT review. Overall, well, we had to wait a month for our scores, which kind of stinks because like
Valentine's Day is gonna be fun.
I know. It's really weird to wait a month because like Raj and I's application to medicals kind of hinges on how we do on the MCAT, and it's like you have to wait a month, and it's like, well, what do I do in the meantime? And it's like, well, you can write your personal statement. It's like, well, what if I didn't do good on the MCAT? It's like, well, you can write your personal statement, and then you have to study for the MCAT again if you want to apply this, like, or you'll just have to wait another year to apply. And they're like, but why do I have to wait a month? Just because we need a month to get the scores together. Like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. February 14th will be a glorious day or an awful day. But
either way, it's an excuse for me to drink. And I can say that because I'm 21.
Yeah.
Threw me off.
I can't find my wallet.
If you're on the audio version, you could have seen Piers and I just go. But semester has started. Raj and I took the MCAT on the Friday our semester started. So I think we're in a unique position to talk about some interesting classes and stuff we have going on. So like, what's everyone's schedule looking like? What's some interesting classes we have going on?
I think the one interesting class I'm in right now, it's like the study of science fiction writing.
Okay.
It's like some really weird like writing. I don't know what.
Is it a writing intensive?
I think it's a writing intensive.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's like it's the study of. It's not like it's basically just like a breakdown. It's like you start off with like the very very early on of like all like the science fiction stuff, and then you like go like through history and like kind of like see like what are like the major landmark like science fiction like media. Like things, and it's actually been interesting so far because like like we're all nerds.
Yeah.
Like it's like like this is what I'm into. So it's like this is where it all started.
Yeah.
But I think it's like it's gonna get into like some like the really like it's gonna get into like some of like that higher level stuff. Like if anybody's like probably not, but if anybody knows like Dune, like how it's like 5 or 6 books and it's like 800 pages per book.
Didn't know that.
And it's like the entire history of the universe. It's like that, and it's like the entire like crazy story and like what it all means and something that like how you're able to connect it back to like what's happening now and stuff. It seems like
it's really cool. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. Is it the only cool class you have?
Yeah, it's the only like fun / interesting one, and everything else is just like just taking all like the normal.
All the normal bio classes. Yeah, it's typical.
No one wants to hear that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raj.
Kinesiology, because now I have a reason to actually use physics.
Yep.
Finally, we're drawing free body diagrams.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god, I finally have a reason to know this.
Which is crazy because you really don't use physics you take physics as a pre-med and you really don't use it at all. It's on the MCAT, but even at that, it's spotty on what you're going to be tested on. But then it's cool that you actually are like using it in some sense.
Finally,
because it's just none of it is relevant at all.
Exactly.
What else?
I mean, I guess pathophys is fun. Now we're learning about like the physiology of diseases and stuff, so it's kind of cool to see how the body reacts to everything. What else? Pharmacology, we gotta learn about drugs. Who doesn't want to learn about that?
Vicodin.
Why did you say it like that?
How do you say it?
Vicodin.
Vicodin?
Vicodin?
Yeah.
You said Vicodin.
Okay.
Oh.
APAP and hydrocodone.
Have you learned about methylphenidate?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's either the 3rd or 4th group.
Okay, because that's just what my ADHD medicine for anyone that.
Oh, he's taking meth.
I recognize that because when I went through the list, I saw that, and I'm like, I feel like you told me this before because it was on your little prescription bottle that you converted into a shot. Oh, yeah, you converted into a shot glass.
Yeah, I did. On my 21st birthday.
Yes.
I converted it into a shot glass.
Anyway, you know what? If it works, it works. It's free. Whatever.
But yeah, me, I guess international econ probably would be the only one that's interesting. Unfortunately, I was on the wait list, so I missed the first 2 classes.
That's worst.
I had to spend. I think I got into the class on Friday, so I had to spend that Friday then.
Like really catch up.
Did your professor at all like help you in the process, or no? Just like read the syllabus, figure out what you missed.
Oh, actually, no. She was cool because I had missed one of the homeworks because it was like I think it was doing like the 14th.
Yeah.
So she at least extended it until not tomorrow, but the following day.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I know like some professors when you like miss class or get on the wait list,
sucks.
Like are just like they don't like really ease you into the process, so then you just like slam and catch up on work. I mean, even Raj and I like for pharmacology, like the syllabus isn't very clear about what we missed when we were taking the MCAT. So I was just like talking to everyone, trying to figure out like how is this class even set up? Like I didn't
I
understand.
still don't know. It's a mystery to me.
Yeah,
still.
I heard that we might have had 2 quizzes a week, but I was confused by that. And then like there is 2 quizzes a week, and then there's a random discussion post up that I had no idea about until I saw it up and with the due date, and then just a whirlwind of stuff. So I'm glad that she's at least extending that and giving you the help.
Imagine being enrolled in the class and your professor just ghosted you.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What else you got? Any Spanish classes?
I'm taking Spanish, so I mean, it's actually
which higher level are you taking? I don't know either.
It's a Spanish class.
Yeah, no.
I'm talking in Spanish. I
Yeah.
mean, the teacher seems cool. The classroom vibe is kind of there.
The real question is Andres in your class?
No, he's not.
Ah,
Yeah,
no more.
I think it's
class.
just that we had the one time, and I think that we should leave it the one time.
Whoa!
I'm out. We had the one Spanish class we were in together. It was an amazing class. Like,
But it's like it's never gonna compare to it.
well, I think it's because the people in the class were amazing. Outside of Andres and I, Molly was in the
Oh,
class
sorry.
too.
Forgot you two were bringing all the fun there.
We 100%.
Just you guys,
No,
just
no. Don't make let's not get things confused. We
That's not
totally were bringing the vibe to the class.
Do you think you're a main character?
100%.
Okay.
Oh my god.
No. We were 100% main characters in the class. Nobody else participated in that class. We were 100% main characters, but
It's helpful when one of them is like fluent in Spanish.
it totally is. But yeah, so like the secondary characters. My other classmates were cool. It was cool having Andres and Molly in the same class, and the professor was also cool. Like my favorite professor I've had in Spanish. So, I mean, that was basically a perfect class. So
Yeah.
it would be tough to top that.
Yeah.
What about you, Justin?
What about me?
We're all in the
What
same
history class
classes,
you taking?
Yeah.
What?
What history class?
I'm taking the Vietnam War, which actually what's really
Oh,
interesting
yeah, I
is
remember
this
you
is the
saying
first
that.
like all my history classes. Like there've been a lot of people in there just taking it for a gen ed. Like this class is full of history majors, and there are some like wild people in my class. I have like an Afghanistan vet in my class who like
Wow.
has so much like world knowledge on like international conflicts and stuff. Like he's definitely on the older side, but like maybe late 20s, early 30s. That could be overstretching it a little bit, but he's definitely not like the 21, 22-year-olds that we have in the class. And like he'll raise his hand and pretty much be like, well, I think that's an interesting point you just brought up because like this relates to this and that. And I'm like, how are you even like drawing
know
these
this
connections?
much? Yeah.
And it's just like it's really cool because just like real like life experience, just like
Yeah.
being like learning about international relations stuff from being abroad, like fighting in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And then there's like some other people from like Germany who just have like a different worldview
Yeah.
than like what we have. And he's like, well, yeah, we're talking about Vietnam War. It's like, well, how it was perceived in Germany is a little bit different than how it's perceived in the United States. And I was like, this is cool. And then we have someone in our class from China who was describing how like China and Vietnam are like, intertwined,
yeah.
and like how like some of the writing is like in traditional Chinese for those reasons, and like how it's like. And I'm just like. And I'm just like, I'm just a kid from the United States. Like,
You're like, hey, I'm from New Jersey.
I'm like, yeah, I learned the Vietnam War, how like strictly like America would teach it because like that's how it is. And then we also have behind me, there's like these two, like, I don't want to like overestimate their age, but they've got to be at least 70-year-olds. Like in my history class, just like husband and wife.
There's a program I know that like does that where it's like it's old people, they just come to classes and like sit in on them. They don't pay tuition or anything.
Yeah.
It's literally just so they learn.
Yeah.
Because there was a dude that wandered into my Spanish class last semester because he went to the wrong classroom, and then he just ended up just coming to our class. It was so funny. Dude was like 60 something, and he just walked in and he was like, "Am I in the right classroom?" And then my Spanish teacher looks at him. He's like, "What class are you supposed to go to?" And he's like, "The iPad class." It was like how they got like taught like how to use iPads, and he's like,
wow.
"So this is a Spanish class?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, really? Can I come in?" He's like, "Sure."
Yeah.
Wow.
And what's really like unique is like these people were old enough. They were like
They
alive during the Vietnam War. So we did this. One of our first lessons was to talk to someone who knew about the Vietnam War, who was present during the Vietnam War, and like get their reactions from it.
You just turn right
They
around.
literally like were just like, yeah, I remember where I was when the Vietnam War had started. And one guy was like, yeah, I was in law school and I wanted to dodge the draft. I was like this. It's like wild. And like I actually think it's really cool because like if you're retired at that age and you have nothing better to do and you really like learning about history, like
just go.
and I've heard a lot of people say like the best way to like not like age is like to be around college campuses because like you see all the kids that are like gonna go into the workforce and like you have to walk around to get to classes and like engage they engage with the students who are all like mostly 22 years old. So like I don't know, I don't think they also are like cynical like, oh man, I don't know what's going on with this generation because
This
like
new generation.
they meet a ton of kids every day that are in their generation. So I thought it was really cool. And like they've got like, I know one of them has like the little notebook out, which I still teach on. I still take notes on a notebook. But then the one guy, the husband, has like an iPad. But I think like the wife is just completely resistant to
any
like
form of electronics
because like she's got the composition notebook out.
That's awesome.
And like just writing in it, and the husband's like got the iPad with the like the keyboard out and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is so strange. Like I've never had anybody that old in my class before. I can't even say I've had anyone over like 25 that I've like noticed in my classes so far. But this is like, there's just a unique blend of people in my Vietnam War class, which is cool. Like I think it's interesting, but it's all the way up in the Victoria building. So I have to make this 15. It's like up by like Lothrop Hall, up by Presby. Like
that's far.
It's actually not terribly far from where you live.
Yeah, actually, that's
live in towers.
Yeah, that's not
No.
horrible.
The worst part is I have to make a 15-minute hike from Kathy to Victoria building.
Oh.
And if you're not familiar with Pittsburgh, for our listeners,
that's like
Pittsburgh's very hilly.
Yeah.
So I had to go very far. It's pretty much every bit of a 15-minute walk in general, but it's also like up these hills. So I pretty much am really pumping my
hop
arms.
on a bus and take the 3 stops.
Yeah, but what if a bus didn't come for 10 minutes?
That's unfortunate.
I'll just walk. But it is like as soon as my English class ends, I'm like pretty much like
booking it.
Yeah, and I'm like, ugh. And I had to go across, but then I like cut through the emergency department, like that entrance. Raj is very familiar with it. But
yeah, because I've been through that entrance before.
Yeah.
And then slice his hand open.
Yeah. Anyway, go watch that episode. But so I run through there, and I pretty much get to class, and every time he's like doing attendance while I arrive, and like it's been a couple of weeks where he's been like, oh, I haven't seen Justin. Has anyone seen Justin come in? Yeah, I'm like, I'm here. He's like, oh, you must have came in like right on time. And I was like, yeah. I even told him one time, I was like, sir, I'm never going to be on time in this class. Like I've got to.
Impossible.
And then God forbid there's any ice one day. It's just like, just being a damn penguin out on the streets of Pittsburgh.
Slide back down.
Yeah. But that's like it's an awful like go. And then I'm also in this autism class, autism intervention and characteristics, which is like a night class, but also like that class has like some grad students in it, and everyone who wants to go into education. And it's just like the way the teacher teaches it is like she's pretty much like treats us like we're like old adults. Like we just like do readings outside of class, and then one group prepares a presentation in class, and then like we present it. But like if you're not the group presenting for the week, you don't really have to do anything. Like you're supposed to like discuss as a group.
No,
but like why would I discuss about what I just read? Like I don't need to discuss it with other people because like I read the stuff. Then this group is going to present on the stuff. Yeah. So why am I going to discuss? I don't need to review the topic 3 times.
What else are we going to talk about?
Yeah. So like you kind of just like questions. So you kind of just like we're supposed to ask the group presenting questions. That's the whole point. So like you're just supposed to like I just took the hour and just like did whatever, and the group presented it. And I listened, and we're supposed to engage with the group. We all engaged a little bit, and then we left 30 minutes early on the second day of class, and I was like, this is great. Like I thought it was going to be like a lot of work, but I mean we have to like do a book book club, but
that kind of reminds me of one of my Spanish classes in high school. I think junior year, I think somebody would have to do a presentation, and you were always supposed to come to class with some question.
No,
so you would like the teacher would come by and check to see like you had to have it written down. Like, always like
just
10 minutes before class, just write something down. Like happened probably for the majority, like us every single day, but. Well, every time we'd have a presentation.
Or it's like when people write the very basic questions just so that they can like get the point. It's like, well, what did you think about like the reading, or did you find this?
What's your opinion on this topic?
Yeah,
I find that very interesting.
Yeah,
Piggybacking off what he said.
Yeah,
I agree.
I also agree with what everybody is saying.
Exactly.
The point devil's advocate.
No, those are the worst kind of people.
I found it very just powerful.
This changed my life.
This changed my life.
Yeah.
I will never remember this after I leave the classroom.
Yeah. I don't know if this is how your guys' classes have gotten, but as I've gotten older, my classes have gotten like smaller and like more like, I don't know, just like, there's like less like, I don't want to say stress, but like this semester is really just like, I don't have these classes with these like big exams where like biochem, like it was pretty much just like, you're learning the material all semester just to have a few homework assignments, take a massive exam on it and move on. But now I'm like, doing small assignments pretty much every day. Like I have like my writing class I'm doing assignments for. It's a 20-person class. My autism class is 20 people. We're doing like readings and assignments for it. Pharmacology, even like we have some exams, but like small quizzes every here and there. I mean, pharmacology would be the only class like that, but I don't know. Have have you seen your class
Yeah.
size just decrease and like
Yeah.
become more like,
Even in
intricate?
like at least our, like my Spanish class is definitely smaller than like the like intro level
Yeah.
classes.
Okay.
Like they were like they were much bigger, but like right now they're at least getting like a little bit smaller because it's getting more like higher level where it's like we're starting to like learn history in Spanish.
Yeah.
And people don't want to take that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, shoot, that was on. I was taking. I think I took my first Spanish class on Zoom.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
I can't even remember like what the class size was for that, but like in general, I'd agree.
Yeah, no, that's like even with our experience with COVID, it's been very unique because like I started in a 400 person like offline like class with Raj where
Zoom
we were
meeting,
watching like Panopto videos and like going to recitations, and then like tons of like everybody had the same like quizzes and professors. Like it was just like a very like group
Chaos.
community. And then like you go into Bio 2 was different, like they had different professors, but like our Bio 2 Zoom class was like 150 students. And then you go to OChem, and I like Raj's class is a little smaller than mine, but I had like 120 kids in my OChem class, like filled up. And now I'm like, my biggest class is like probably 100 with Farm or something. It might not even be that big.
Farm is Farm would be their biggest. Maybe kinesiology because it's a pretty big lecture, but
okay, yeah, but for the most part, like they're all just really really small classes, which I like that a little bit more because it feels like a lot more like mature. Like I feel like the professors treat it a lot more mature. You're just allowed to like
once you get into the higher level classes, they stop treating you like a student. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you're a peer. You're trying to learn.
Yeah.
And, like that's actually like education.
and they like let you learn instead of like just like barking material at you and then just being like, here's an exam. Like my
Figure it
history
out,
class is pretty like loose, but like he knows if you do the readings based on if you participate in class, and then like you have to you like we have to read a book, and we're gonna have to write an essay on the book. The most common misconception, people will be like, I'll spark note the essay. I think the essay is just simply easy. If you just take a little bit of time to read the book, the essay is so much easier to write.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like, people don't know that, but like, I always meet people who are like, oh, I'm not doing the reading. I'm just going to like spark note it or like whatever. And I'm like,
me all of high school.
yeah, like in high school it's a little different 'cause I feel like you have to do it more. But like, I've just learned over time that like, if you just do the reading, like
it's
you
gonna
just
be easier.
you just get it through it so much faster.
No, I 100% agree with that. It'll, without a doubt, be easier to
But
do the
that's
thing.
more effort.
But like I remember in high school, it was actually crazy because I think it was my either freshman or sophomore year.
Yeah.
I was in the library, and there was somebody sitting next to me, one of my friends, and one of the English teachers actually caught him on Spark
Oh,
Notes.
that's brutal.
And we had
Especially
already
high-
heard that, like
No.
the consequences. So we had to like go behind, like before, like the like academic integrity, like student
using
council.
Spark Notes?
That's
Well, because we were already told you can't use Spark Notes. Like that was
Oh my
you
God.
cannot use it whatsoever. And then like I saw him on Spark Notes, and I like
Didn't think
much
anything of it,
anything
whatever.
of it because for the most part,
Everybody did it.
everybody did it.
Yeah.
That's
And then I
brutal.
was just sitting down right next to him, and I like see somebody like walking over towards us, and then I look up as like they like get right next to us, and it's like one of the English teachers. I'm like, damn, that's not good.
Damn, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. I have to
Thank
go to the
goodness.
bathroom.
Yeah. Like I mean, I don't think anything really that horrible.
Yeah.
It was probably like a
happened to him,
slap in the wrist, I think, but
But-
still.
Yeah, I was like, damn,
Yeah.
that is really unfortunate.
I don't remember if I said the story on the podcast, but like one time I got caught in a really bad, like not really bad, like people were cheating off of me because I just like gave people my
Oh.
homework.
Oh,
yeah.
So like someone like didn't have the English homework. We were in history class. This is the worst. I think I might have said this, but I'm gonna just tell it again. We had English homework, and I gave everyone my English like homework. I was like, yeah, sure, you don't have like the answer, just go for it.
yeah.
And then our history teacher sees this like people like copying off this like page.
Yeah.
So he takes everyone's page that everyone's copying off of and then gives it to our English teacher. What a rat.
Oh
And
my
then-
god.
So we all have to go to the principal's office for lunch to get like a
Oh,
talking
no.
to.
Oh,
But me and the principal were really tight because I was really involved in the student council.
oh, you're
So-
one of those kids.
He walks in,
You
there,
walked
snaps
in,
him up.
yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, you're good. You can leave."
Yeah, she literally like was like saw us all there. She's like, "What did you guys do?" And I was like, "Oh, like we were all just like copying each other's homework." She's like, "I just like sit here for
Just
lunch."
don't do that.
She's like, "Just don't do that again." And then like none of us got anything for it. But like, I wasn't even impressed. Like I always did the right thing as a kid. I wasn't even impressed about the principal's office at that point because I was like the principal. I was like, "We're fine." Like I was like,
you were such a
like
goody
Mrs.
two-shoes
Grosser.
that
I
you
was like,
knew-
we're chilling.
You
Like,
knew walking in there, you're like, "I'll be in charges." Who cares?
yeah, I was, like, there's no way she's gonna like say anything to me.
That's hilarious. That's so
I
funny.
think I can one up that.
Go ahead.
So in my freshman year Mod World Civ class, we were graded on taking notes on the textbook.
Freshman year of high school.
Yeah. and we had to turn it on Google Classroom and whatnot.
What class is that?
Modern
Modern World
Civilization.
Civilization.
Yeah, don't just say Mod World Civ.
I mean, I get that, but like
What are you doing? Like, is it just modern times? Like, do you just look at the
You're
news?
asking the worst person to answer
It's
this question.
history.
that's
Do you just look at the news?
Like,
World
yeah.
history past, I think. I forget what
80s?
years. I think we started with the 1800s.
so.
Yeah, I know.
That is not
What
modern.
about
But that's
world
what the class was
history?
called.
Like what?
That
like,
was world history.
But so I had government economics freshman year. Then we had world history or AP World, and then so.
Ours was Modern World Civilization 2 because you took Modern World Civilization 1 in 8th grade.
What?
Yeah, I know. My school's weird.
Wait, so do you start at the 1800s?
Yeah, because it's a continuation of what you learned in 8th grade, your freshman year of high school.
So
Well, that's not modern, though.
Yeah, but they call it the class that for some
Well, I
reason.
guess when you
I don't
consider
know.
the history of the world, it's pretty modern.
But then, what did you not have world?
No, we had that as an AP class. That was after.
world history just wasn't just base level world history wasn't really
Base level world history, I guess, was Modern World Civilization.
So you just didn't learn about the American Revolution.
Dude,
No,
I
we
didn't
did. That was the year after.
I didn't even
that
take
would be
that
yeah,
was
take
U.S.
history
History
freshman
1.
year.
yeah U.S. history or A push.
We had U.S. History 1 sophomore year and U.S.
What are
History
your
2
guys' classes?
junior year.
Okay, I had the government economics. You either had world or AP World. Then it was American or U.S. history or A push, and then you had a region, like a global studies class, basically. So you could choose a different region. So I chose Spanish because it was my advisor teaching it. I was
You chose Spanish as your region.
yeah, or I
Spanish
mean
isn't a region.
Spanish. I chose Latin American studies.
There we
Wow.
go. There we go.
And it was a history class just taught in Spanish.
Yeah.
And because I was taking
Yes.
Spanish
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
time. So also we have to get back to your story, but
Yeah,
continue with
my
this.
school is weird. Moving
Okay.
on, let's just ignore the fact that my public school curriculum was bad.
Okay.
But basically, so we were graded on notes we were doing. Fair enough, they're notes. I guess it's just a completion grade. So you can do your notes and stuff.
Oh.
So what me and a couple of other kids in the class do is we have we don't have a shared document. It's 1 week someone will do the entire thing and everyone else will kind of loosely base their notes off of each other's. And we're all smart enough at that point to know not to copy and paste. And until there's a kid who felt bad for someone in the class and shared my notes with him. And he decided to and he made it blatantly obvious. He copied an entire 2 or 3 pages worth of notes. And the thing is, he's died, and I didn't know. Next day, I get a notification from Power School saying 0 out of 10. I go, what? And then I go to the class, and there's a write-up slip on my desk, and I go,
I hate when you're trying to help people out and you're giving them your notes because you're trying to help them
Here's where you should get.
here's the content. I'm just trying to help you out, and then people aren't smart enough to change the word because you're not even trying to I mean, in your case, you didn't give the guy the notes,
Yeah.
but I hate when people don't have a brain and they just will copy it word for word. It's I'm trying to help you out right now.
It's so you understand what the material is. You
Yeah.
take your own notes based off of
Mhm.
the already condensed stuff from the class.
Yeah.
I wasn't even pissed at the kid who got caught. I was just pissed at the teacher
Yeah.
who's this OD. He was going crazy about copying class notes
Yeah.
from a textbook.
And it's dude, first of all, I didn't even do this.
Yeah.
This got stolen from me, essentially.
He took it all the way up to the vice principal, and she was talking to me about it.
Nah.
Give me some story about her daughter's friend who's in art school got caught plagiarizing. How do you plagiarize in art school? First off,
How do you do that?
I heard she
know.
copied Ed Sheeran's song to a T.
I don't know. She was giving me that story. I just blankly stared. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not going to do it again. Yeah.
That's my bad.
Yeah,
I
that's
proceeded
my
to do
bad.
it the next day.
I proceeded to do it for probably the rest of high school.
Next 4 years. Anyone else have cheating stories?
Oh.
No, I never had one.
I mean, I remember kids in my 8th grade, whatever the history class was, they did something very similar to that.
Mhm.
I actually got yelled. I remember this wasn't cheating, but I was doing math homework that wasn't even due that
You
day.
can cheat on how do you get caught for cheating on math?
No, I wasn't cheating. It wasn't.
Oh,
They didn't
okay.
get yelled at for cheating. I was doing math homework, and I had math. This was in 8th grade. I remember because this Spanish teacher was
Oh,
the most
evil.
uptight,
Doing
like
homework during other
super.
people's classes.
Well, this was before the class had started.
Oh.
I had Spanish, or I had math after that class, but the math homework was due
Wasn't due until like
for
later.
not today, but for the following day or whatever the next class like would be due.
Yeah. You just wanted to like get it done.
Yeah, and I was doing it. Class hadn't started. She walks over to me. I show her my homework, and she's like, my Spanish homework, and she gets mad at me and starts yelling at me because I was doing other homework in a class. She's like, "You haven't prepared for class. Like, stop. Like, I guess trying to like prepare for your next class in this class."
I
was just
hate
like,
the power trips that people go on
It's
because they're like it's like they target the wrong people for that because it's like your intent clearly it was like if she just had a conversation with you about it, it would have been like, oh yeah, this isn't due until like a couple of days from now. Like I'm just trying to get ahead of it.
Right.
Like that is proactive, responsible, clearly doing the right thing. But she's like, no, don't do that. This is my classroom. I'm in charge.
And if she's literally just checking to see that people have done the homework for that class, I don't feel like me doing homework for
Another
class.
class
Well, I
even
have
matters.
the homework out.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it's like you're already
Is
having
that
done.
big?
It's like who
Yeah.
cares?
I actually think like there are some college professors for sure that are on a power trip, but like high school can almost be worse sometimes because like I think they deal with a lot of crappy students because they're all like
They,
high schools
they
and
do
they'll
have to be.
yeah,
like,
but like they can often be more uptight about like you doing other things for other classes or not paying attention in class or like, oh, if you don't have the homework, it's the end of the world. Where like most of the times college professors are pretty chill on it. Like you'll get professors who write like ridiculously hard exams and aren't like accommodating, but like high school professors can just be like downright high school teachers can just be downright mean sometimes for like no reason and just be like, oh, like why are you doing other work in my class? Like you should be paying attention, or like you didn't do the homework, like you must be a terrible kid or whatnot. And you're just like, I think it's because they deal with so many bad students. Because I mean, I don't know what your guys' school is like, but I have like 50% of my kids in my high school like don't go to college, so none of them really care about school. I'm not saying they're bad kids, but like they don't care about school, so they kind of just don't like do their work or anything, and they know they're going to just go into a trade after high school, so they don't like pay attention. But then teachers have to deal with that, and then they just like I think they just get mad and they'll like
it's probably reflected back on them when it's like your kids aren't doing well in the class and what's going on, like you're not doing well, whatever.
Okay, so with that,
Oh god,
what's your? I have a story in mind, but what is like your craziest, like the craziest thing a kid has done in class when you were in high school?
Oh man,
high school
And I can
in class?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No, yeah. Someone wrote a dad pen on my glass.
Yeah, same.
Wow.
Actually,
That is
no.
crazy.
The craziest thing, someone got caught with the dab pen. The teacher put it on her desk. She took the kid outside. Some kid in my class grabs it and hides it in his bag.
Yeah.
So there's no evidence. And they're
There's zero snitches.
Whoever
in
that
school.
is a real serious friend. But my goodness.
they all got away with it. I was like,
wow.
Wow. Okay, my story is so tame.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like there was a dude in my Spanish class that he would wear sweatshirts the entire winter, and he would just have a dab pen like in his sweatshirt, just going like this the entire class, and would be so unbelievably high for the entire class.
That is, I couldn't have, like, I know kids for sure smoked like during school. Like I know that for a
What do you
fact.
mean people went to the bathroom in the vape room?
Yeah, like I know that for a
the
fact.
tool room?
Like even some
Always be smelling fruity in the bathrooms.
like
Just my perfume.
I know people that would like just go, like they live close enough to school, but they just go home and like they do it like at home during lunch and stuff. But never like I can't
Yeah, during
imagine.
class, yeah.
I mean,
Like, they might be high during class, but never actively getting high.
Welcome to
during class.
public school.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm not even making a public. Like, I'm not even making a public versus private school joke there, but I think that's a little bit of what you get. Like,
Jacob's out here about to say the
Dude,
wildest
people
story
showed up
ever.
drunk to my school.
Yes.
Like,
People were drinking in class.
yeah,
School.
yeah.
that was like a
Okay,
thing.
no,
It was like by the end of senior year, you had to get drunk once during class.
Yeah.
My story is just so tame.
Well, what?
We're gonna go ahead. Like,
So, my Spanish class was with my advisor.
Why is it always Spanish, bro?
Because it always is Spanish class.
It's always a Spanish
It
class.
just happens to be always Spanish class. It's just a legendary. I don't know. It's a legendary class. So she had a couch in the back of the classroom.
Yeah.
And she didn't want us to sit on it or
It's,
anything.
it's rich people things.
So what one of
What's
my
it called?
classmates did is he got under the couch cushions and was staying there for about 30 minutes during the class
That's really
period.
That's
And
really funny.
she obviously had no idea where he was
That's
the
very
entire
funny.
time. And like even though this was my advisor, like I didn't want to say that he was under the couch. Nobody said he was under the couch. So there was one point like during the Like eventually he was like literally there for like 30 minutes or something like that. Like we were like doing classwork, but I was also like thinking, he's really been there for a long time. So eventually he just pops out, and my teacher gets like super, super pissed off. She talks to him afterwards. The craziest thing we ever did though in high school, not during class. Yeah, I participated in that. We actually didn't get in trouble.
Barstool video?
No. We exploded the water bottle.
Oh, that's what I meant.
That's crazy. See, that's crazy. We put so we had a teacher. He was the anatomy and physiology teacher, and he had, I guess, brought in some dry ice. So we've got
a bottle with dry ice.
Water bottles.
Yeah, filled it up with water and dry ice. Put it on the football field. And I don't even know why the hell we did this.
Because you're stupid teenagers. That's exactly what you would do.
But we like.
That is so tame.
It was fun. I mean, it literally sounded like a gunshot. Like, it was ridiculous. And then teachers like running out on the field to see what happened. Half of us dipped. And
half? What did the other half do? Just stand there?
Actually, it was probably more.
I think
only one kid actually stayed.
Oh my!
Why?
God.
And he explained what happened to the teacher. We didn't get into any serious trouble.
Okay.
But like
it's nothing.
That kid has zero survival instincts. None.
Wow.
Well, he's actually at the Naval Academy right now, so
that makes sense.
Never mind.
But,
zero survival instincts.
But I feel like that's got to be one of the great. I feel like that's got to be like.
Yeah, you're like, it's like a hard, like, I can't really like think of everything. I know one time, like, people would often like rip their vapes like during like track practice, and then they'd like show back, like we'd go on runs, right, and then like through the woods and stuff, and people would like go to the woods and like go like vape in the back. But then what's funny is they'd show up and like if we had to do like strides, like they're just finished like hitting like I don't even know how many times they would hit like their vape during like they'll run, and then they come back and then they're sprinting on these like strides. And I think one day people brought alcohol and was like drinking in the woods. Yeah.
Yo, this seems like a lit track team.
Which is like just a very like, because I was like, I took running pretty seriously, and I was always like, bro, why? Like, you're just like not getting a benefit. But I mean, that's how people are.
Well, it's just going to be more difficult during practice, regardless.
Yeah,
I just remembered another thing. So some kids managed to break into the school after hours, after it's fully locked, and they like it was apparently they got in. So they got on the roof, and then they found a vent that led into like one of the janitor's storage closets, and they got inside through that. I don't know what their plan was to do once they got inside, because there's nothing to do.
Yeah, and it's also motion sensors.
Yeah, but yeah, so like that ended up happening at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
And we all know what happened at my high school by making CNN, Jacob.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised. I'm like kind of shocked you're surprised.
I mean,
these things
like there's always occasional fist fights that break out. Like,
oh yes, the fights are amazing.
There was one. Yeah. So there was two fights when I was in high school. There was one when I was a freshman. No, I think I was in. No, hang on. So I think it was in 8th grade actually, and this one there was a video somewhere. I wish I had it. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen. So the way, like, the setup is like it was a couple. The girl got dumped by the guy because I think the guy was like trying to like get with another girl or something like that. Whatever the logistics of it were, whatever. And this girl walks into his English class like first period of the day, and starts screaming at him. Picks him up and slams him onto the desk. I swear to God.
What?
She ragdolled this dude.
How did she have the time to do? Like, what the hell was the teacher doing?
Well, it was before class started, so everybody was just like standing there, whatever. And she just like opens the door, walks in, like starts doing, and then just ragdolls the guy.
How did he let him? Like, how did he let her do that?
He was shorter than her.
I mean, it's 8th grade. Like
I was in 8th grade. This was a high schooler.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
but I was still pretty short. I was still short.
But still, like he got ragdolled.
I don't understand how he had gave her the opportunity to not only grab him, but then
why would you be expecting that?
But still, then get picked up and thrown down. No,
I'm not expecting that. You are not.
Yeah, like I was small enough, like I hadn't grown a ton. Like if I was like a sophomore or freshman and like my
Bro,
girlfriend walks in, and,
that's like saying if someone comes up and just sweeps your leg. Why weren't you ready
Like,
for it?
how
you
much was
idiot?
the range of motion though? Like, was
Oh
it like, like?
No, it was like she was like very close. It was like just like up and then down.
That is crazy.
like I
It's
just
not like a choke slam or anything where they pick them up off their feet like
Yeah,
3 feet
they're
in
not
the air.
like she also knew like a fireman carrying into like a Batista
That-
bomb. And like,
Crazy.
I love like the overreactions in middle school, like early high school, because no one has any emotional intelligence. So like the way to solve your problems is to walk in a class and like scream at people or like get involved in fist fights. And you're like, what the hell? Like now in college, it's like you're playing like emotional war. Like if you want to like cause damage,
Mind games.
yeah, you're playing emotional damage, mind games. Like
yeah.
oh, like I'm gonna get this person. Like this person's gonna want me back. I'm not gonna text them for like 5 days. But in high school, it's like I'm gonna walk into class and like yell at
this person.
yeah, you beat the hell out of this person and she'll want me back. And it's
No,
like,
yeah.
what are you talking
Jacob, you
about?
think that's bad? A senior who is 18 years old got destroyed by a 14-year-old freshman 2 months into school.
Wow.
And
Was this freshman like what?
no,
one
this freshman
now?
was like 5'2".
You'd be
The
surprised.
senior's 6 foot something.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, because there was
You can't come back to school after that.
No,
He did.
yeah, no, because that was
You gotta transfer.
there was the other fight. It was when I was a junior, I think, and there was a kid. He was on the football team. He was ass, but he insisted that he was like oh, like he always would like talk major trash,
Yeah.
and then
He was going D1.
well, because he would talk trash to our senior linebacker,
Oh my
who
God.
was built like a brick
Yeah.
wall, and then immediately get tossed. But at one point, he was like him and this other guy. I think he might have been I think he was a hockey player actually.
Mhm.
Bad move, first of all. But he started like making fun of this dude's sister, and was like chirping him for it. And what I tell you, this dude started wailing on it.
Oh
It was
my
just like in lunch or something like that. And then it's like I'm like sitting there like eating, and I just get like a text message like in the football group chat of just the video, and it was like yo, and it's just this dude wailing on him. And it was the funniest part was like the teacher's aide or whoever that was like monitoring lunch, like standing in the background, like stop, and then out of nowhere, our football coach comes flying in, like separates both of them, and then this dude has the gall to say, "Yeah, I beat that guy's ass."
Nah.
It's like, dude,
No, you didn't.
this dude
Stop fighting.
Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
no, this kid literally got jumped. Like he got thrown onto a table and was like actually getting punched in the face.
Yeah. We had a kid, I think it might have been a football practice incident, like straight up lost his teeth. Like he didn't have teeth for his graduation. Like he just got knocked out and like, yeah, what?
He emailed us back.
Oh, great. Well, we can worry about that after the
I
pod.
know, but I was not expecting that.
Yeah, our teacher emailed us back. We're not
Took him a week.
gonna dox anyone, but yeah, before our quiz tomorrow, we got an email back.
Yeah.
I have two stories then. One,
Yeah.
so the son of one of the former Saints defensive coordinators, he went to our school.
The guy that did Banagate.
No, actually, I don't even know who the defensive coordinator was at that point in time. I'm gonna assume no. But anyways, when he went to the school, the Saints defense was horrible, like really, 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 really bad.
Yeah.
And I guess he was getting like,
He's
a
getting
little bit,
sure.
of, a little bit of trash for it. And I mean, that's got to be pretty tough because he can't really do anything about it. And then there was one day, I don't even know what happened. I just like hear a huge commotion, and then I see this guy and he's like a huge he was a huge lineman,
Yeah.
and I think he walked on at Clemson. So he was like,
Lord.
this was like before Clemson was like
Great,
Clemson, but
they're
like
still walking on at a Division I college.
Yeah.
oh, he's like he was there and won a national championship there, but he's still like he didn't.
He was on the
national championship
If you're on-
winning team.
If you're in the ACC playing D1 football, you're good.
He was on a national championship
Yeah.
winning team.
Yeah.
I'll say that. But yeah, I just see the other guy back into a quarter. I just see this massive guy just going after him. And then it was crazy because there was our 7th grade English teacher. She was the one that wound up breaking up the fight.
Good for
And
her.
it completely and totally I was I think I was actually in 7th grade at that time. So I was like, we were asking her about it. She was like, yeah, like
She just went in there.
she just did it. And then in football, we did something called Big Cat. So we have 2 people lined up in front of each other, like in like a defensive lineman stance. Coach blows the whistle, and you're basically supposed to run at each other, try to push each other back.
Yeah.
So one kid in my grade, he was like having some like type of like relationship or something with this one girl, and this freshman.
It
always comes back to the girl.
It always was. The kid, there's this kid grade below us who was at a party and sent a picture to the group chat with like the girl like sitting on his lap or something like that. And
This is the
this
most
was
high
like
school
the
thing ever.
football group chat. So like everybody was like, and he already like the guy in my grade had already been clowned.
Yeah.
Because he'd come up with this like
Not for sure.
corny caption like "What a night, what a girl" with this like post that on Instagram. He got clowned about it in the football
As you should.
group
Yeah,
chat,
right.
and we actually after we ended practice and we broke on "What a night, what a girl"
Oh.
as she was walking down the sideline. It was kind of
That's
it was
rough,
funny,
but-
so obviously this kid's pissed about it. So the coaches are even, I guess, kind of
they know like enough to know, oh, these two are pissed off at each other.
Yeah.
yeah. So they do a big cat, and kind of like what you were saying, kid in my grade doesn't really even do much. He just grabs it, picks it up, throws it down on the ground, absolutely finishes it. And then we start practice.
We start practice. That's so good.
That's epic. Well, I think that's a perfect way to end this episode of the podcast. Thanks everyone for listening. We're happy to be back. Be tuned for more episodes. If you got in this far in the podcast, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. And other than that, we will see you next time on the Wash Athlete Podcast.